So we said, no, first concentrate on the BFP. You have concluded. Next week, either Thursday or next week, we shall conclude it. But now the budget committee has already started receiving committee reports for the BFP. Now, on the issue of time, I think it is something we shall go back and we discuss administratively. But let me first allow Honorable Ssemujju if he wanted to guide on the same.
No, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to provide some information.
Yeah.
The mistake we have been making is to treat the Auditor General's report as raw material for committees to do work. In other jurisdictions, if you go to Kenya, and I have visited because I chaired an accountability committee before, the report of the Auditor General is adopted as it comes. And then committees request to do further investigation in specific areas. I want to ask you, Mr. Speaker, for Parliament to adopt a similar approach. So that you don't use the report of the Auditor General, a lot of work done by technical people, sometimes even hires private firms, and then you use it as raw material. In other countries, they just adopt and then request to do investigations in specific areas, and then they can do them forever. That's the information, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to give.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Colleagues, I don't want us to start a debate here. We usually improve on such a processes by having meetings with committees of chairpersons. And also we can discuss it in the business committee meeting in terms of strategy. We come up together with a strategy. That is acceptable. But most importantly, Honorable Sarah, the argument was, like Honorable Ssemujju has said, government will not start taking actions on the recommendations of the Auditor General before you adopt. So now, if you wait for 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, how will you process a Treasury memoranda, which is an action taken report? So now, I think it is operational. You can, out of a committee, make subcommittees. You share, and you say this side, you get projects. This side, you get these categories of MDAs and all that. And in the end, you adopt as a committee. You come here, we debate. But that one, we shall be calling a meeting so that we agree on a strategy that can help us work as a team. Yes, finally, Honorable Babiku.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to comment on one issue that you commented about, the issue of this year being a period of election. We thank you for the wishes, but we need to be empowered to account to our people in relation to key issues we raised on the floor of Parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, as people from West Nile, we have the issue of the non-compensation of our people as a result of the LRA war, the non-expansion of a Jumani hospital and others. If we don't have these responses, whether in affirmative or not, it makes it very difficult for us to account to our people. So my prayer is, let government respond to the issues that members have raised so that we have a package to share with our people. Thank you so much.
On land compensation, I remember Attorney General were working out something. Do you have any update?
Thank you, Right Honorable. I appreciate the concern raised by my sister, Honorable Babiku. Right Honorable Speaker, originally the government committed itself to do compensation in 3 sub-regions, Acholi, Lango, and Teso. When the exercise started, there was pressure from other sub-regions. West Nile, Bugisu, Bukedi, Busoga, and parts of Rwenzori which were hit by the ADF. this matter was presented to Cabinet, and a decision was taken that we wait, we first see how the other areas are being compensated, because we would be overwhelmed and government may not be able to appropriately carry that burden. So the idea was that we first do substantial work on the 3 sub-regions, then we would seek guidance from Cabinet and be directed.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, you have power to empower yourselves through budgeting process and sector committees. When you are processing municipal policy statements, and this is where we have to be assertive, and we raise these issues. And I'm sure Government Chief Whip has also taken note. It's in a wide perspective, Honorable. Huh? Yes, Honorable Ababiku. Clarification? Also clarification. Let me start with the one who has raided the microphone without my permission. Though he has not spoken.
I do not switch on, Right Honorable. Right Honorable, when we had a sitting in Guru, we had a report from the Government Assurance and Implementation Committee on the compensation. That report was read and it was not adopted. We are waiting for that opportunity so that the Parliament will fully debate that report and we come up with a resolution. And in that report, the issues of West Nile, they are included.
Thank you.
The other parts of the country, they are waiting for our report and that resolution. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Clerk, put it on order paper for tomorrow. We have it sorted. Honorable Angura, then Honorable Basarira.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, you've rightly said that we are processing the budget. We have started with the BFP. Very soon we shall go to the ministerial policy statement, and that is where we should be assertive. That is a very good statement. But remember, Right Honorable Speaker, now we are looking at the plans which have come through the BFP. When you look at the column of the unfunded priorities, which will still be translated into the ministerial policy statement, and finally the budget we shall pass, many of the needs that these constituents of yours here, the members here, are focusing on it to achieve as a way of benefit as they return, are in the unfunded priorities. And that will continue up to the...
Honorable Rule 8 does not allow me to allow such a debate on anticipation. Please, let's just... You can submit without referring parties in the report of the BFP and all that.
I thank you very much. So I want to request, and the Chief Whip is here. The Minister of Finance is not here. I want to request that when we come to that conclusive situation of approving the figures that we shall supply here, let those figures be honored.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, honorable colleagues, we shall give you enough time to scrutinize the budget. Okay? We shall give you enough time. You will scrutinize deeply. I had allowed Honorable Wasarira.
On the issue of compensation, the Ministry for Justice appeared before our committee, legal and parliamentary. And as the learned Attorney General said, actually the focus now is on 3 areas, places, Acholi, Lango and Teso. And they did request, I think it is 100 billion for that process. So as a matter of fact, West Nile is not there. That's from Cabinet. And even us from other areas like Busoga, where Lakwena terrorized us, are not there. So Right Honourable Speaker, as a matter of fact, the focus remains very limited to those areas. And from the budget framework paper of the Ministry of Justice, that is very clear. That's the clarification Right Honourable Speaker wanted to give.
Let's handle anything to do with RAND. We are discussing that issue tomorrow. Okay? Honourable Wanika guided us very well. When we are debating the report, then you'll make the submission. No, so is it on the same?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
Is it on the same?
From your communication, and it has become my common practice to remind the Minister of Education that you, as you said, you are going for campaigns. Our children should not stay behind. I'm getting numerous calls as a shadow minister from a number of schools. They are not getting capitation grant. Yet the term is starting on the 3rd. And this is a very big problem for our children. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, a number of schools are advertising getting senior 1 students when the period is not yet out. And the Minister of Education is comfortably seated listening. So how are these students joining senior 1 when the results for period are not yet out?
Thank you.
But above all, Mr. Speaker, let us see, help Minister of Education. This money is very little, and the teachers must be at school by now, preparing for the beginning of the term as private schools all our children are studying from. The biggest population of our children in Uganda are in UPE schools and USE. And Mr. Speaker, Minister of Education is taking attention. A number of USE schools now have developed a system of opening up boarding sections.
Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Peter Gwang, Minister.
Information I had there.
No, he was already off. No,
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Please, Honorable, please, when you see me seated here, never switch on a microphone without my permission. Yeah, because we have to stop somewhere when we are conducting business here. Honorable Minister. No.
First of all, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, Happy New Year. On behalf of the Minister of Education and Sports, I want to thank my colleague, the Shadow Minister for Education and Sports, for the questions he has asked, and I want to reply him as follows. We will be officially releasing the primary living examination on Thursday. Today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday. So, honorable colleagues and the entire country should be informed of that. Number 2, in line with the question my colleague has raised regarding the issue of capitation grant, I want to say the following. Right Honorable Speaker, permit me to bring the written statement on Thursday to answer on the capitation grant in as far as whether it has been released by Minister of Finance or not, because once they release...
No, Honorable Minister, you're going to burden yourself for nothing. You're going to clog the order paper. You can have a minute, you call your PS from outside, you confirm, and so that I save you a burden of coming to debate here for an hour.
Most obliged, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes. So whenever you're ready, make a sign to me. But you see, Honorable Seungo, number 1, okay? When you are submitting on your issue, you refer to my communication. I never communicated anything regarding education. Huh? And I kept quiet. Number 2, you again want to come back on the same. So, okay.
Mr. Speaker, I hid under the new year and the campaigns coming in interest of the children. But Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Minister of Education for his response. And I always talk from an informed point of view. But there is something very serious we must address as a parliament. USE schools are having their students because parents cannot afford fees. And the culture is growing the number of rural schools where schools are opening up boarding sections, charging parents fees. And it is challenging parents. And the Ministry of Education has not come out with a proper statement on who are supposed to attend the boarding section. As I'm talking now, parents are paying over 700,000 in USE schools. And the government is paying 60,000 or 80,000 per student in USE schools. And it has become business. All this we must address it because students are running out of school. If you don't have boarding fee for senior 4, senior 3, you can't attend. And they are pulling out of school. All that must be addressed by the minister as he looks for his statement that might not be very true from what I know. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Honourable Minister, any good news for us?
I want to confirm that the capitation grant will be to all schools in the country by Monday next week.
Thank you. Thank you. Honourable Nsababuturo.
Mr. Speaker, sir,
Mr. Speaker, the Committee on East African Community Affairs was tasked to look at, to examine basically the East African Community Mediation Agreement Bill, Mr. Speaker. We've been proceeding well, but we need a bit more time to be able to conclusively put the matter to the end.
How much time do you need? I know you've lost time handling the BFP.
Mr. Speaker, 30 days would be sufficient.
21 days. Okay? Can do? Very good. 21 days, Honorable colleagues. I think that's fair. Honorable colleagues, on a sad note, I've also received information that Honorable Frederick Gumengobi, MP Bramoji North West, lost his mother yesterday. It's very important that indeed we observe a minute of silence like we did for the
May her soul rest in eternal peace.
Now, I've seen next time when I'm reading, I will start with the one who died. Because I saw some people being shaken right away. But whoever we rose is a valuable life. Honorable Ssemujju, matters of national importance.
I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I raise here to register and request the government to intervene in the way Dr. KIIZA Besigye is being treated in Luzira. We have visited him, at least those of us who belong to the same side with him. We have talked to him, taken food. Now that right has been taken away by the prisons authority. But also when you visit him, last time I was there with the Honorable Mwijuchi, Honorable Kamara, they have now put a grass, so he stands behind some grass and there is a microphone. You can't even be sure that you are speaking to him. We don't know why these conditions, because Dr. Besigye is the most imprisoned person under this government. This is the first time that he is being treated like this. What is worrying us, Mr. Speaker, even more, when you deny people food of their choice, because food is also medicine. We have had colleagues who live Luzira, including Besigye's brother, and as soon as they leave, they die. Dr. Chiguna and others. We don't know whether it is deliberate that when Dr. Besigye, if he ever leaves, he leaves when his life has been really affected. More worrying, the CDF, General Moses Kainerugaba, announced that Dr. Besigye will be hanged. Mr. Speaker, I did not take the statements of General Moses seriously, but now I do. Why? He said they will go and attack Kenya, they will be in Nairobi. Actually, I thought it was a joke. But Dr. Besigye was kidnapped from Nairobi. We had some other colleagues, 36 kidnapped from Kisumu. For me, I don't need any further evidence that actually they attacked Nairobi and took it over long ago. When the other day he called General Erueru a buffoon, I kept asking myself, did he ever do something buffoonery for General Moses to begin calling him a buffoon? And for UPDF officers who are here, you must be very careful with what you do. I kept asking, what has he done? My memory took me to Kasese, where he commanded the attack on Rubiri. And I said, is that what Muhoozi was referring to as buffoonery? So I am using that as an illustration to say I take his statements because our colleague needs protection. He said his New Year resolution includes arresting General Erueru. I am happy General is here, he hasn't yet been arrested. So, Mr. Speaker, I am saying I take his statements. The other day he said he will arrest the Committee on Defense. Those crowns cannot summon me. And I saw them seated comfortably. The guy has refused to come. So I now take his statement serious. So when he says he wants to hang Dr. KIIZA Besigye in May, he said he has actually now shifted it. I don't know whether starving him in Luzira becomes part of the process, but I want to ask government to tell us. Dr. Besigye was generous. He tweeted President Museveni when they were fighting in Luwero and his family. Why are they paying him by starving him, Mr. Speaker?
Thank you. Honourable Minister for Internal Affairs.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I'm not a clown. But I want to respond to the Honourable Ssemujju's concerns, especially of food, which is a basic right. And I want to say that the family of Dr. Besigye accredited 6 people, and it's only those that are allowed to bring food. We can't extend beyond that one for security reasons. Number two, the place where Dr. Besigye meets visitors is the accredited place for other people to meet visitors. And you speak from a handset, by intercom, and that is universal practice. That's what I want to.
Thank you. Ono Maneno Zumra.
I respect General Muhoozi, but it's not right to lie. The Honorable Ssemujju is here. We went and met Dr. Besigye, even spoke to him. This speaking behind the grass is a new thing. Maybe you don't go to prison. We keep visiting people you have arrested. I was in Kitale, I was in Kigo. I have never spoken to anyone behind the grasses, General Muhoozi. Maybe you live in heaven.
General, is it a new practice? Is it a new? Amrak, I haven't been to Luzira, so I can't speak from,
Right, Honourable Speaker, what I want to bring out is that it's not targeting Dr. Besigye. It's not discriminating against him. It applies to all the inmates.
So now that's a practice. Yeah, so honorable colleagues, the people in charge of prisons, if they have a way now they are handling prisoners, and it's for all prisoners. Now here, what should I do on the fraud? No, I really, colleagues, please. I avoid a situation where we just continue on something rotating. Now, the person, the Honourable Minister in charge of prisons, he has told you that this is how they are treating all prisoners. If there are prisoners who are being treated differently, okay, also it's a matter we should come and handle. But for now, this is not a matter you can resolve on this floor, okay? Honourable Minister's submission has been very clear, and I don't think I can go beyond that. Honourable Zumra.
Yeah, thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise on matter of national importance concerning hippopotamus that has been attacking people of Obongi and destroying crops of the community in Obongi. Last year in October, a hippopotamus attacked a man called Sunday Dodo in Yakinemiji Ward in Kenya village. The gentleman was in his field harvesting his crops, and the hippo came out of the river to come and attack him and broke his leg. And the man was hospitalized in Moyo General Hospital for 1 month, and up to now he's still going under treatment. This year, on 17th of January, a man by the names Modesta from Iwafa Sub-County, Atimar East Village, Iwafa Parish, was again attacked by a hippo that came from the water and attacked him at the landing site because the man is a fisherman. He went fishing. When he came back, landing at the landing site, the hippo attacked him. The young people of Obongi have an association called Obongi Vegetable Growers, where they plant greens, they plant watermelon, cabbages, and all their crops were destroyed by the hippo. So my prayers are that the young people who have been growing vegetable and their crops are being destroyed, I am seeking the Ministry of Disaster to help them with seeds, whereby they can also plant it again, and Ministry of Agriculture. Secondly, my second prayer is that UA should intervene into that matter. Because we don't have a field office for UA in Obongi, the field office we have is in Adjumani.